There's this one weekend every year that I like to protect. It's a bit like a sacred ritual. For 16 years, no matter where I'm located, nothing stops me from making that pilgrimage to Richfield Avenue. So every year when the lineup drops, it's a real moment for me. And this year was no different.
I can exclusively announce the first wave of performers at Reading and Leeds 2025.
But this time, it felt a bit different.
Do you want your first one? Of course you do. It's Bring Me the Horizon. Another one! Hosier headlines next. Your final headliner is... That is the headliners for Reading and Leeds 2025. Chapel Row rounds it off.
And so for the first time, I'm left asking a question. Am I too old for this? Am I part of the demographic anymore? Have I just aged out? Because if we're going to take this on headliners alone, this is probably the worst poster I've ever seen.
Since 2008, I've witnessed some incredible acts. Small bands playing their first gigs before becoming icons.
Fucking hell, man.
Headliners delivering once-in-a-lifetime show. And even some titans falling from grace.
Axl Rose is the one guy who wanted to punch in the face the most.
Shit. An hour late coming on. Rubbish.
There's some amazing names on this poster. If you look throughout the day, there's definitely some absolute blinders. Just look at the Friday. I love bands like The Chats, Soft Play, one of my records of the year last year, Wallows, The Kooks, Block Party. Block Party, if I was to have an indie Mount Rushmore, Kelly Okereke would be an Abe Lincoln spot. He's amazing. They're amazing. It's part of my DNA. Moving on though, let's go look at the Saturday. Bring Me the Horizon headlining. Fine. I don't hate Bring Me the Horizon. I secretly kind of enjoy them. Do I think that they should be the only rock headliner on this lineup? No. But you know what? It is what it is. But going down that list, especially after we got our latest announcement, Limp Bizkit.
It's just one of those days when you don't want to wake up. Everything is fucked, everybody sucks.
Amazing. And Shikari, Royal Otis, Bakar, Wonder Horse was one of my albums of last year. And then going down there, you're looking at Good Neighbours, you're looking at Lamborghini Girls, Example, Barming Tiger, Pale Waves. Like, there's some great names on this lineup. Cool, okay, so maybe this isn't about the headliners. Maybe this is about the smaller acts further down the poster. As I've always said, that's where the magic is. Let's look at the Sunday. Travis Scott, D-Block Europe, Trippie Redd. Okay. Out of the names that I would go and see on this list thus far, I would go watch Amel and the Sniffers. Amazing. One of my favourite pieces of Glastonbury in 2022. Quite enjoyed Del Water Gap, Dare, Love. Yeah, you see, like, Sunday's whack. While it is, the headliners are never always the big thing for me. Further down the poster is where I get excited, and on that Sunday I'm not, and I think that there's a specific reason. Something happened last October that I want to go back to. But before we do that, we need to go back a few years. August 2016, a Facebook post went out announcing 2 final shows at Alexandra Palace for the Maccabees. I was there for both of them. I shed a lot of tears. And honestly, if I had to carve out my Mount Rushmore, Orlando would absolutely be taking George Washington's spot. So, you can only imagine the goosebumps that I felt when I'm flicking through Instagram and this post shows up showing the Maccabees with a bright orange background.
Hugo got married about 4 years ago and he decided he wanted to be the Maccabees once more.
It was so heavy ending that band. That last show was so final and it was such a big portion of our lives.
It was a pretty easy decision to come and
We did Pelican. Yeah. It was great. But I think it was the first feeling of like, oh, you know that feeling when you're like, oh, that's what we did and that was our life.
24 hours later, it was announced that they were back and they were doing one more show and headlining All Points East. The downside, it's August Bank Holiday weekend, directly clashing with Reading Sunday. I'll be honest though, Reading Sunday, it's usually my least favourite day. I've been sat outside for 3 days straight. I hurt a lot. Beer doesn't go in the same way. Sunday's whack. But I've never skipped it. Always go in. But could I really sit through Travis Scott knowing that one of my all-time favourite acts is making their comeback 45 miles up the road?
Which leads me to ask the question, for the first time in 16 years, is Reading still a non-negotiable for me? Or is it time to break the streak?
Nothing's right on top.
Villa, Natalie and Bruya, I'm torn. Until I look at the rest of the lineup for All Points East. The Murder Capital, Dry Cleaning, Nilafayanya, Bombay Bicycle Club. Jack Steadman makes it onto the Rushmore list for me. So Reading may not be the strongest, and maybe I'm getting too old for it. I'm definitely too old for it.
Oh man.
So we're rewriting the script, we're changing it up, we're breaking the cycle. August Bank Holiday Weekend 2025 will forever be known as the weekend that I tackled Indy's Mount Rushmore. And that's f***ing exciting.
So here's the plan. I'm hitting Reading for the first 2 days. Then, gonna head home on Saturday night. We're gonna get up early on Sunday morning, jump on a train to London for one f***ing banger of a day of music. And I'm freaking out a little bit, but also I think after 16 years, time for a bit of a plot twist. Time to inject a bit of fun. Let me know your thoughts, and I will, of course, see you in the next one. Cheers.
The